A very good morning to everyone. My name is Risyawati Muhammad Ismail from University Utara Malaysia, UUM, Kedah. Today, I'm presenting on a case study on poultry farming in the rural community in Kedah, Malaysia. Actually, this project, this research is actually a part of our community engagement project with our research center, which is Food Security Innovation and Development Research Center, Finder, and a selected rural community in the state of Kedah. A little bit on the background of this study. In Malaysia, the agriculture sector is actually one of the highest contributor for our GDP, especially for the rural communities. Poultry farming and cattle breeding are two of the most go-to economic activities among rural folks, as they deem these activities as the easiest to do. However, despite that, poultry farmers need to possess comprehensive knowledge to ensure the success of their economic activities. So this is what the study aimed for. Yeah? This study aimed to understand the challenges of rural poultry farming and to put forward the strategies needed to ensure its success. Based on the 2019 statistical data from the Department of Statistics Malaysia, the poverty rate in Malaysia rural area is higher than urban area. In rural community, it is common to actually find people doing multiple low-paying jobs in order to make ends meet. Thus, research on rural community is quite abundant, indicating the interest in understanding more on how the community works, survives, and eventually figuring out how to help them. Research on the impact of poultry farming and its importance have been done numerous times, and this research suggested that poultry farming could help in improving the livelihood of the rural community itself. There are also various studies which delve deeper on the issues behind rural economic activities. For example, Muhammad Yusof 2011 examined the key issues which are faced by the rural communities, not just poverty but also lack of access to basic services and limited economic opportunities. Zain et al. 2019 found that rural areas have a higher level of economic development if they have better infrastructure and a more diverse economy and higher level of education and human capital, whereby Bryson 2002 and Sulaiman et al. 2016 highlighted the importance of agriculture in rural development and argue that sustainable agriculture practices is one of the elements that can play a key role in reducing poverty and improving the livelihood of rural communities. Research was also done to understand the constraint, the challenges that are faced by smallholder farmers, including the lack of access to market, lack of funding and extension services, as well as poor infrastructure. By et al. 2021, Hussein and Ahmad 2012, and Top and Hirschtoff 2007 indicate that farming is basically a rural key contributor to rural development, and it played a very important role in poverty reduction and economic growth. However, Gong et al. 2015 and Adiola et al. 2020 emphasized on the importance of investing in infrastructure, technology, and extension services to improve productivity and profitability of animal farming in order to sustain this key economic contributor in order for rural development to be successful in poverty reduction and economic growth. From the government perspective, Malaysia has been promoting rural animal breeding to not only improve the livelihood of farmers, but also to increase the food security of the country. Yeah? There are various national level programs taken or implemented by the Ministry of Agriculture and Agro-Base, such as the PPR program, which supported the increase of rural poultry production. Malaysia also have established MPIC, which stands for Malaysia Poultry Industry Council, and this council basically provide technical support, training, and networking for farmers and industry stakeholders. However, despite all this, the rural farmers are still not achieving the expected performance until today. So the study main aim is to understand the rural issue of poultry farmers in Malaysia by examining the specific challenges faced by them and evaluating the effectiveness of the current poverty reduction strategies. And this research is done through case study. Basically, in this research, okay, we conducted this study on 10 cluster of farmers in an area in a village called Padang Terap, and they are basically rubber tappers. So they are doing two jobs actually. They are doing rubber tapping in the morning, and the rest of the time they are breeding chickens. And this participant basically fall within the B40 income group, which means they are the 40% of the total population in Malaysia with the lowest income. That is how they are referred to in Malaysia as the B40 group. And data was collected through face-to-face interview and also on-site observation. So the research team basically visited uh, all these farmers, these 10 cluster of farmers, not only when we conduct the interview, but also visit the farming ground itself. So the community chose for this study is a group of rubber tappers, B40 rubber tappers, and this household basically have lower incomes and fewer resources, and they are often considered to be at higher risk of poverty and economic insecurity. And in this study, the 10 clusters of B40 rural farmers were given free 3 days old chicks, free supply of starter animal feed, which will last for 14 days, as well as brooders. However, they have to provide housing for the chickens until it can be harvested at 60 days. And this process will repeated 3 cycles, and observation and interview were conducted throughout each cycle until the project or the study ended. So this is the conceptual framework that we came up with before we started the research. Yeah, and this one is based on previous research. We suggested that technical knowledge, funding, market, supplier, communication, resource, and access to information are the main issues and challenges that are faced by rural community whenever they conduct their economic activities. So we use this conceptual framework as the basis of our study. The finding of this study were discussed and presented based on the conceptual framework and then reported by cluster. The first one for technical knowledge. The researcher found that all 10 clusters exhibited the same problem when it comes to technical knowledge in poultry farming. They never attended any training in regards to chicken farming and only gathered the information through trial and error method. And the farmers also got some information from fellow friends who were farming poultry earlier than them. And this was not due to lack of training available, but the farmers' location are far from the training center. Thus, they were reluctant to go and receive training. During this study, basically we found that their knowledge on chicken farming was very minimal, and they are not aware of new feeding technology or alternative poultry feed technology for their chickens. The second finding is about funding. We also observe that lack there are lack of fund for their farming activity, as they are provided assistance in the form of chicken feed for the first 14 days of the project, after which they must provide the feed themselves. That means that they have to provide feed from their own pocket until the chicken reach the harvesting age of 60 days. All 10 clusters were observed feeding the chicken with various alternative feed, such as food leftovers, and uh, the are not buying any commercially available chicken feed due to the expensive price and the lack of money among them. So they are also not aware of any fund or grants provided by local agencies to assist them. So this hugely impacted, yeah, the growth of their chicken, as the nutrition provided to the chickens are inconsistent due to lack of fund in buying the locally available chicken feed. In regards to the third element, which is market, yeah, in terms of market, we found that farmers face problem in selling the animals at competitive price due to the isolation of their location. As they are also doing other job as well, the farmers prefer to sell their chicken to local buyers, as they would not have to travel to sell it. However, by doing so, the chicken was sold at a lower price in comparison if they are available to transport it to the right market. So these are some of the poultry housing that are used by the farmers. As you can see, they use basic material to build the housing for their chickens, and they lack the technical knowledge and fund, and their building. This limited them from building a proper and hygienic housing for their animal. This study also suggested that suppliers are one of the main challenges that they face. The farmers try to purchase additional items such as feed from a nearby supplier, but the choice of feed is limited and expensive. The same issue occurred when they tried to purchase other agriculture equipment, yeah, and this further limited support to their economic activities. We also found that communication is a huge issue. During the study, a lot of miscommunication happened when it is not done face to face, and some respondents even wanted to withdraw from the study due to it. Basically, the local people spoke with their own Malay dialect. Thus, some information was lost in translation, so-called, and this caused miscommunication on both parts. Yeah, and the next one is in regards to resource. As I mentioned earlier in this presentation, For the sake of the study, we provided them with chicks as well as starter feed. Yeah, but and they are also given tools and equipment such as brooders, yeah, at the end, at the beginning of the study. However, the participant or the farmers must provide the housing themselves for the chick to grow properly. And during this research, we found that the participants are heavily dependent on all this so-called subsidy or so-called support to provide them with resource and to support their project. And this was due because they could barely able to allocate any budget and their own budget to the project itself. The last finding is on access to information. All the farmers have their own handphones, but internet connectivity and phone services are regularly disrupted due to the isolation of the area. The farmers are also not technologically savvy, and they depend a lot on their children in order to attain any useful information. And this shortcoming causes them to miss out a lot, especially on local support, such as available scheme and grants assistance from the government. Next, we come to the discussion part where we will look at the strategic guidelines to ensure successful rural poultry farming. The first one is on funding. Yeah, funding remains as the crucial factor to ensure rural breeding and farming program is a success. The government and its agency must ensure that the fund allocation need to be done aggressively, top down, to ensure no farmers are left behind. Local officers, such as district officers, should be given the mandate to distribute information and gather data from the for the required fund from farmers instead of using the general information distribution system on the internet, as the farmers don't really have easy access to it, and miscommunication again could happen due to this. Apart from that, for rural poultry farming project to succeed, local agencies need to ensure that a complete supply chain is readily available. Rural product can be transported successfully to the right market if the supply chain is complete. By assisting in building a complete supply chain, this product can be transported in a timely manner and in good condition, so that the farmer will receive a maximum rate of profit for their economic activities. The next strategy that should be focused on is the appointment of a local champion. Uh, this local champion is basically a respected member in the rural community. And from this study, we observe that because of this local champion, it is easier for the farmers to accept new approach and also outsiders' opinion. The local champion is especially crucial if the agriculture project involve new technology and approach. And this champion basically help increase the acceptance level among rural farmers when it comes to new technology and approach in agriculture activities. The next strategy involves the importance of technical knowledge. Technical knowledge has been proven to be important in rural farming. However, the government must ensure that training programs that will be provided by them or by non-profit organization comes with customized educational material matching the level of education of these local farmers. And they also must make sure that this technical knowledge session could cater and reach the isolated rural farmers. So instead of using the existing training centers, maybe the training agents could go to grassroots and conduct training on site near to the local farmers. Another strategy involved the monitoring of the project itself. Agencies which are involved in rural economic development must ensure proper and extensive program monitoring when it involves rural communities. A scheduled, timely monitoring will enable these agencies to detect project problems early and provide assistance efficiently to the rural communities. This is very important because due to all their challenges and limitation, the rural economy or the rural farmers expected a lot of help as they are lacking in so many areas in their economic activities. So a proper monitoring, a very thorough and wide monitoring program will help them overcome all these challenges in a very timely manner. In conclusion, from this study, we found that rural poultry farmers face a lot of significant challenges due to the geographic isolation and lack of resources, especially money. And strategic management is very important when approaching this type of community, and targeted support are essential for the sustainable development in this area. And it is also important to empower farmers with enough knowledge and adequate resources in ensuring that they are able to overcome all these challenges in their economic activities. That's all from me. Thank you.